Well, hello and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this live webinar regarding the Portuguese Golden Visa. Over the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to explore one of the most attractive residence-by-investment programs in the world. It's a law that was recently revised, and I'll be happy to answer all the questions about what this visa means for global investors such as yourselves. But before we dig into the matter, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Adriana Maria Barba. I'm the managing partner of Vasquez and Barba International Legal Consultants. We are a law firm and also a real estate agency with the headquarters in Barcelona, but we have several offices around the world, including Lisbon. That's why we are offering this program. The firm has been recognized as one of the best law firms in Spain and Portugal for international investors. And I have also been recognized as one of the best lawyers in the area for international investors, international tax law, and real estate. I'm a dual degree attorney, graduated law school both in the United States and Spain. And ever since I moved here almost 14 years ago, I started the law firm because I was always very clear on my objective of having my own firm by a certain age. And being an international person in the city, creating my own company, allowed me to personally face many of the challenges that a lot of people from abroad have to challenge when they want to establish themselves in Europe. So, because it has been such a wonderful experience to not only create my company here in Spain, but also the experience of living and enjoying my life through Europe. That's why we made it our life's purpose to help other people who want to realize that dream of having a balanced life in one of the safest parts of the world. I can easily identify with many of you because, as I told you, I lived in the US. I have a Latin American background, but I haven't regretted the decision to come and live in Spain and to enjoy Europe in the 14 years that I have been here. So without further ado, let's start speaking about Portugal. Portugal is much more than the beautiful beaches that is one for which is world renowned and is vibrant culture. Is one of the safest countries in Europe. Is a top destination for digital nomads and investors because they're very interested in foreign investment, and because of that they have specific programs that make the taxation favorable if that is the case. Portugal is of course part of the European Union and the Schengen area, meaning that obtaining this resident permit or passport, if it is your interest, gives you access to the 27 European countries. And we're very excited about offering this service because it will give you an European passport in one of the fastest routes, which is only 5 years. Now, having a Portuguese passport means visa-free access to more than 186 countries in the world. So, what is the Golden Visa? Golden Visa is the common noun for the residence permit for investors, or also known in Portuguese by the acronym ARI. It allows for persons who are not citizens of the European Union to live, work, and study in the European Union, travel free in the Schengen zone, and apply for permanent residency after 5 years. The best part of this program is that you only need to stay in Portugal 7 days on the first year of application and then 14 days in the following years. So the minimum residency requirements are actually very minimum. It's only 1 week the first year and 14 days after that. Who is eligible under this program? A person who is at least 18 years old. It has to have a clean criminal record, make one of the qualifying investments, which I will describe in a minute, and ensure that the funds for the investment come from outside of Portugal, meaning there is no need to relocate your life to Portugal unless you want to, because it is also a wonderful option of a country to live. Additionally to all the benefits that I have described so far, your family can join you. The Golden Visa will cover your spouse or your legal partner, children under 18, or older than 18 if they are studying and dependent on you. Adopted children are also eligible for this program, and dependent parents and siblings under 17 that are under the legal custody of the investor. So it is a very rare chance to actually bring your whole family or to obtain permanent residency in Europe for your whole family only with one investment. So what are the investment options? There are several, and they have changed from the time the law was enacted. So it's very important to take into account that the ones that I'm going to describe now are the ones that are valid up to this point. If you do your own research, you may find some other options, but not all of them are valid as of right now. So the first option is to have a company that creates at least 10 new jobs in Portugal. Second option will be to invest €500,000 or more into research carried out by scientific institution, meaning that you will be a sponsor of a qualifying scientific institution in Portugal, and they will use the money that you provide for scientific advantage. Then there is an option of venture capital and private equity. You need to invest at least $500,000 on a non-real estate investment fund that is created with at least 60% of funds of Portuguese companies. Because as I have explained at the beginning, we have a long relationship with Portugal, and we have other clients in Portugal and have been offering services there for years. We have already done some research on which investment funds we can suggest for you to invest in if you would like us to make a suggestion on which fund you would like to invest. There's also the option of business expansion, meaning that you can establish a Portuguese company or increase the capital of an existing company. And this is also for an amount of €500,000 minimum, either creating or maintaining the jobs of that company, of that new company. And now here comes the more interesting one, because it requires the least amount of investment. It is the art and heritage support, and it is a contribution of €250,000 to support art, culture, or the preservation of national heritage in Portugal. Now, not all institutions in Portugal qualify, so it is important that prior to making this donation, in this case, this last option is not an investment but a donation, for which in return you will get a resident card, is one of the ones that qualify under this law. So I urge you to consult us prior to making this donation to make sure that is one that will qualify you for this program. As I was mentioning before, it is very important to take into account that the real estate option that was first available to obtain this visa is no longer available. Real estate investments no longer qualify for the golden visa in Portugal because the legislature wants to ensure that the focus of the funds that come through this foreign investment are for innovation, the creation of jobs, or to increase the cultural value of Portugal. And the reasoning of this change was to make it ethically sound in the eyes of the Portuguese legislature. So very important, although as I mentioned at the beginning that we are a real estate agency and we will be happy if it comes to that point to assist you in investing in real estate in Spain or Portugal. Investing in real estate in Portugal does not longer qualify for a golden visa. Now, which documents will you need to prepare in order to apply for this visa? You need to have a valid passport. At the time that your application needs to be submitted, you need to be in Portugal. So you need to travel to Portugal and we need to have legal proof of your entry, meaning a stamp on your passport by a Portuguese court. We need to obtain a health insurance that is specific for this purpose. It's a health insurance that is issued for the applications of these visas, and it is only a way to ensure that the application is not based on medical need. It will be a coverage that will provide you with basic health, but although you will be, once you become a resident, you will be covered by the national health system. This private health insurance is required for the application of the visa. Then you need to have your tax ID from the country where you're a tax resident. Then the proof of the investment, which is where the core of our services rely, will assist you in making a sound investment that will actually qualify you for this application. We will need to redact a declaration of honor saying that you will maintain the investment for at least 5 years. So because your initial resident card will be given to you for 2 years, what the Portuguese government is trying to secure is that you will not get the investment, get the resident card, and then pull out the investment. And then there is an application fee that we will include as in the service proposal with our honoraries in order to apply for this visa. It is important, and we will, once you retain our services, we will give you a list of the requirements of all these documents and providers that can assist you in obtaining them. But in general terms, all foreign documents must have an apostille stamp and need to be officially translated into Portuguese. But we'll be happy to guide you step by step as we gather documents so they're all valid and they all comply with the requirements. Now, as a general guideline, just so you know how long this process takes and what to expect once you start the process and retain our services. The document preparation depends largely on how quickly does the client himself or herself prepares the document, but we estimate by experience a period of 4 to 6 weeks while we prepare the documents. Then we do the investment execution itself. That will vary depending on which investment option you prefer. Then we'll do an online application. Then there is a biometric appointment in Portugal for your resident card. Then the initial resident permit will be issued. It will be valid for 2 years. Then there will need to be a renewal of this resident permit every 2 years. And then after 5 years, you can either apply for permanent residency, meaning that you will only have to renew the resident permit every 5 years, or to apply for Portuguese citizenship if that is your choice. So why now? There is an increase in demand on these applications. As you know, in many countries, the political situation is not stable, and golden visa programs are becoming either longer or more difficult, or are being completely eliminated, as it was the case in Spain. Spain used to have a golden visa program that ended a couple of months ago, and I'm happy to report that all the golden visa cases that we processed for Spain were successful. So we have a 100% success rate in the processing of these applications, and we are very happy to put our services to you. So to offer these services to you, so your application in Portugal is also successful. The law, as I was saying, has just been updated. So prior to the processors maybe establishing additional requirements, it's important, and it'll be easier if we submit the application as soon as possible, now that we know what the new requirements are. As these applications start to be processed and more applicants start to submit their applications, sometimes the approval process becomes more stringent. So it will be very beneficial, if you're interested in this program, to start your application as soon as possible, now that we are very clear as to which the requirements are as of right now. What do we do for you? We have a team of lawyers, both licensed in the United States and Europe. We also have part of our firm is fiscal and tax advice. And as I told you before, from our experience with the golden visa in Spain, we're very familiar with the immigration process that is required for an international investor interested in one of these programs. So what we do is to help you choose the right investment for you according to your needs, handle all the paperwork, and give you a list of trusted providers for apostille, stamps, and translations. We will represent you with Portuguese authorities. We have Portuguese attorneys in our staff that will handle your application. We will schedule your appointment in Portugal, the biometric appointment. We will help you with the applications of your family if you choose to use this investment for your significant other, your children, your siblings, or your parents. And once you have your initial resident card approved, we will be happy to also assist you with the renewal and with the application either for permanent residency or for Portuguese citizenship. Another differentiating factor from other law firms that may offer this service is that you will always speak to me and to me only. So I will coordinate all our team in order to provide you the most accurate, efficient, and fast service. But you will not be speaking about this whole process with my collaborators of the juniors or the other colleagues in my office, making the communication streamlined only with one interlocutor, which we spend that is more efficient and gives us faster and better results. So remember, if you are interested in applying for this program, it is of great advantage to start the process as soon as possible. You will get visa-free travel through the Schengen area, a path to European citizenship in just 5 years, which is really an anomaly. It usually takes longer. You will get benefits not only for the investor, but for the family and relatives or the investor. The state requirements are very minimal. It's only 2 weeks at the beginning and then 1 week every year after that. And if you want to explore the option further and see how it can specifically be tailored to your case, we'll be happy to take a consultation. Then the consultation will also be with me and we'll be happy to address all of your questions. I'll be happy to address this the questions that I'm seeing on the chat box. Again, once we have our Q&A session, but just to answer one of the two that I can answer in general terms, the validity of all apostille stamps are always 90 days. So it is important that the process is coordinated with us so we can collect all the documents that we need in the time frame that we need in order for them to be valid at the time that we submit the applications. So in order to respect the privacy of the persons who are watching this webinar live, we're gonna finish now to have a Q&A session. And for the persons who watch this webinar later in the replay, feel free to contact us at info@bbilc.com, which is the same email from which you received the invitation to this webinar. And I'll be happy to have a consultation personalized for your specific needs and get you started in this amazing program that will get you permanent residency in Europe from the get-go and then a straight path to European citizenship. We look forward to be at your service, and don't hesitate to contact me directly should you have any questions that you want me to address. Thank you so much for being here.